You know those people everyone in the neighborhood worships? The ones who arrive at funerals with sunglasses and bodyguards, throw around wads of cash like confetti, and smile so wide you'd think they were the ones being buried? Yeah, the ones everyone calls a man of the people. The kind of people who are adored not because they've done anything meaningful, but because they hand out free rice every election season. Well, today's story is about one such man, and about a young, idealistic teacher who thought he was above all that nonsense, until he wasn't. What starts as a harmless teacher-student reunion quickly spirals into a hilarious, humiliating, and politically explosive tale of corruption, betrayal, revenge, and a coup. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Our narrator, Odili, is a young man with the kind of idealism that can only exist before the first encounter with bureaucracy. He believes in hard work, merit, and honesty. He believes that once he finishes school, he'll get a job, a car, maybe even a house, because that's how life should work, right? But reality hits harder than a slap from a disappointed auntie. The world he stepped into is one where, as he puts it,
it didn't matter what you knew, but who you knew.
Still, Odili is determined to stay clean in a society soaked in corruption. But then enters Chief Nanga. Chief Nanga is Odili's former teacher, now a member of parliament for the constituency of Anata. Everyone loves him. They call him a man of the people. He's charming, he's smooth, he's always smiling. He knows how to make people feel special, even while robbing them blind. He's the kind of politician who can steal your wallet and make you thank him for taking the weight off your pockets.
What?
Odili despises him. From the very start, something about Nanga's fake humility and empty charisma rubs him the wrong way. But when Nanga visits Odili's school, that teacher-student bond reignites, and Odili finds himself agreeing to visit Nanga's home in Bori, partly because Nanga promises to help with a scholarship application, and partly because, well, Odili has a little mission of his own.
Sneaky.
At Nanga's mansion, Odili gets a front-row seat to the theater of corruption. Money flows like a river. Politicians make deals over whiskey. Women trade their dignity for contracts. And our incorruptible narrator? He's laughing, eating, drinking, and honestly, having the time of his life. As he admits,
We all laughed, including the driver whose face I could see in the mirror. We joked and laughed all the way back. In Chief Nanga's company, it was impossible not to be merry.
Odili becomes what Aikwe Arma, in The Beautiful Ones Are Not Yet Born, calls a Chichidodo, a bird that hates excrement but loves to eat the worms living in it. He hates corruption, but he's enjoying the benefits it brings. It's that classic moral hypocrisy, and Odili's idealism is slowly, bit by bit, eroding.
He got cooked.
But then, everything changes because of a woman. Elsie is Odili's girlfriend. Well, girlfriend is a strong word. He once described her as just a kabu, a good time girl, and claimed there was nothing serious between them. But when Chief Nanga sleeps with Elsie right under his nose, Odili's world just implodes.
It was only after Max had left for court at around 9 that I finally felt the full weight of the previous night's humiliation settling down on me. The heat and the anger had now largely evaporated, leaving the cold fact that another man had wrenched my girlfriend from my hand and led her to bed under my very eyes, and I had done nothing about it, because the man was a minister bloated by the flatulence of ill-gotten wealth, living in a big mansion built with public money.
Yes, it's petty. Yes, Odili himself said she meant nothing. But apparently, it's only nothing until someone else has her. This humiliation becomes his turning point, his political awakening, if you like. It's no longer just about ideals. Now it's personal. Odili joins his friend Max and a group of like-minded reformists who are forming a new political party to challenge the corrupt establishment. They see potential in Odili and select him as their parliamentary candidate to run directly against Chief Nanga in his constituency. What starts as political activism is also Odili's revenge mission, And his revenge plan goes beyond the ballot box. He plans to seduce Edna, Nanga's soon-to-be second wife, just to humiliate him in return.
Oh, that's cold.
It's all set up for a dramatic election showdown. Unfortunately, Odili's idealism doesn't come with deep pockets. Nanga has money, thugs, and the people's fear on his side. Odili has none of those things. The election is rigged before it even begins. Villages, including his own, openly declare their loyalty to Nanga, not out of love, but out of fear. They believe that if they oppose Nanga, they'll lose all development.
You're dead, honey.
As the campaign heats up, Odili is brutally beaten. His injuries are so severe that he can't even file his nomination papers. The revenge he dreamed of is slipping through his fingers. All seems lost.
Oh.
And then fate steps in, not with a vote, but with a coup. The government is overthrown. The same corrupt politicians who seemed untouchable are suddenly powerless. Odili's revenge is handed to him on a silver platter, but by then, his motives have shifted. He no longer cares about vengeance. He's fallen in love with Edna, and his perspective on everything has changed. It's worth noting that Achebe wrote this novel before Nigeria's first military coup, a coup that happened just months after the book's publication. The prophetic nature of the story is chilling. The book I've been talking about is A Man of the People by Chinua Achebe, a politically charged and honestly eerily prophetic novel published in 1966. This novel is, in many ways, Achebe's boldest work. After things fall apart, no longer at ease, an arrow of God, this story feels different. The tone is sharper, the satire is biting, and instead of colonial forces, Achebe turns his gaze inward, to the post-independence African state, and the rot eating it from the head down. The corruption in this novel isn't the quiet kind done by faceless bureaucrats. It's open, flamboyant, and celebrated. Politicians steal and smile while doing it. They hand out scraps to the people and are praised as heroes. Society plays its part too. As one line puts it,
A sensible man would not spit out the juicy morsel that good fortune placed in his mouth.
you know, corruption thrives not just because of greedy politicians, but honestly, because society itself enables it. People expect politicians to be rich. They expect handouts. They even excuse theft as, well, God's blessings. It's a vicious cycle, and Achebe really lays it bare. Even Edna's father, he kind of embodies this mentality. He says,
"Leave me and my in-law. He will bring, and I will eat until I'm tired. And thanks to the man above, he does not lack what to bring."
Odili's journey, honestly, is both fascinating and frustrating. He starts out as a symbol of integrity, but we watch him, little by little, compromise his ideals, laughing at the jokes of a man he despises, enjoying the spoils of corruption, and only growing a conscience when the system actually hurts him personally. It's hard to root for him. In fact, I disliked him for most of the story, because really, what if Nanga had never touched Elsie? Would Odili have ever stood up to him? Probably not. And maybe that's Achebe's point. Most people don't care about corruption until it affects them directly. We tolerate it, justify it, and even participate in it until it hurts us. Only then do we become activists. Some readers call this book a satire. And while there are absurd, darkly humorous moments, especially Odili's disastrous attempts at revenge, I see it more as a mirror held up to society. Achebe exposes the uncomfortable truth about power, greed, and hypocrisy, both in leaders and in the people who support them. And the most striking part? This story is not history. It's not a relic of the 1960s. Everything Achebe wrote, the manipulation, the vote buying, the fear-mongering, the public worship of corrupt politicians, is happening right now, in countless countries across the continent and beyond. That's what makes this novel timeless. Chinua Achebe needs little introduction. Born in 1930 in Nigeria, he's widely regarded as the father of modern African literature. His debut novel, Things Fall Apart, published in 1958, is one of the most widely read books in African literature and has been translated into over 50 languages. Achebe's work explores the clash between tradition and modernity, the impact of colonialism, and the complexities of post-independence Africa. With A Man of the People, published in 1966, Achebe proved once again that he wasn't just a storyteller, he was a visionary. The book's eerily accurate prediction of a coup, written just months before Nigeria's first military takeover, really cemented his reputation not just as a novelist, but as a political commentator with rare insight. In the end, A Man of the People is more than just a novel. It's a political diagnosis. It's Achebe saying, here is what we have become. Here is the disease. Now, what will we do about it? It's uncomfortable. It's frustrating. It's funny in a dark way. And above all, it's necessary. Because the story Achebe tells isn't over. It's still unfolding. Every election cycle, every campaign rally, every time someone says, at least he shares the loot. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're interested in diving deeper into this book, I've left some links down in the description. You can use it to grab yourself a copy and keep the adventure going. And if you're in the mood for more great reads, don't go just yet. Click on one of the videos popping up right now that I think you'll love. And don't forget to give this review a like, leave a comment, or even subscribe if you'd like to see more. Every bit of support helps us grow this little community of book lovers. See you in the next one.